If you don't set your own boundaries, others will set them for you, and rarely in a way that benefits you. Have you ever felt used, taken for granted, or completely out of control in your relationships? The truth is, respect isn't something you ask for, it's something you build. And the key to earning it? Boundaries. Emotional, communicative, time, values, personal space, every single one. Keep watching this video, inspired by Keanu Reeves' wisdom, to discover how setting strong boundaries empowers you to gain respect and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Respect is not something you can demand. It must be built through actions, through who you are. Especially in relationships between men and women, respect forms the foundation for trust, love, and long-term connection. Yet, many women struggle to establish this fundamental respect, not because they are unworthy, but because they unknowingly overlook a powerful truth. People will treat you based on the boundaries you set for yourself. Without clear and firm boundaries, it's easy for others to take you for granted, to disregard your limits, and to blur the line between love and control. Boundaries are not about building walls or creating emotional distance. In reality, they define how you expect to be treated. They reflect your self-worth and the standards you set for your life. When you establish strong and healthy boundaries, you don't even need to say a word. People will naturally recognize that you value yourself. And this, in turn, commands respect from others, especially men. To men, a woman's clarity and self-respect is inherently admirable. It sends a message that you are not someone to be manipulated, disrespected, or undervalued. We see this in many well-known relationships. Take Andrea Sachs in The Devil Wears Prada. Initially, she seemed easy to control. But the moment she redefined her self-worth and stood up for what she truly wanted, she not only gained respect, but also elevated her career and personal freedom. In this discussion, you will discover 5 essential boundaries that not only protect your inner peace, but also earn you greater respect from men. These boundaries include your emotional world, communication style, time and space, core values, and physical presence. When you master these areas, you create strong, lasting relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. The truth is, respect does not come from being agreeable or pleasing others. It comes from standing firm in who you are and what you deserve. Let's explore how setting these 5 boundaries can shift the way men perceive and treat you. This will not only help you build healthy relationships, but also elevate your self-worth and create more meaningful connections in life. You've probably heard the saying, your emotions are yours, and only you have the right to control them. In every relationship, the way you allow others to engage with your emotions and the level of emotional energy you invest in others can determine your mental well-being. Without clear emotional boundaries, you're at risk of burnout, excessive dependence, or becoming easily manipulated. A woman who understands her emotional needs and expresses them without guilt sends a powerful message. My emotional world is valuable and deserves respect. This doesn't mean you need to be cold or distant, but rather that you know when to give and when to step back to protect your emotional and mental health. Emotional independence creates stability, which naturally commands respect. When a man sees that your emotions are not easily swayed by highs and lows, he understands that you are not someone to be manipulated or emotionally destabilized. A key aspect of setting emotional boundaries is knowing how much emotional labor you are willing to invest in a relationship. Women often find themselves in the role of emotional caretakers, absorbing, managing, and soothing their partner's emotions. While emotional support is vital in any relationship, it must be balanced. If you constantly prioritize others' emotions over your own, you may end up feeling drained and resentful. By setting limits on how much emotional energy you give, you teach others to take responsibility for their own emotions. Emotional boundaries also involve recognizing manipulative behaviors and refusing to engage with them. Guilt-tripping, silent treatment, and emotional outbursts meant to control your reactions are all red flags. Standing firm against these tactics requires strength, but protecting your inner peace is the very power that allows you to engage in relationships from a place of confidence, not neediness. Relationships become healthier and more balanced when you maintain emotional independence. This, in turn, earns you greater respect from men. It's crucial to establish emotional boundaries so you don't fall into emotional dependency. When you do this, you not only protect yourself but also cultivate deeper, more supportive, and mutually respectful connections. Remember, emotional maturity and inner peace are the keys to happy, healthy relationships. She doesn't just express her thoughts and feelings. She makes her value unmistakably clear. Clear and assertive communication is a prerequisite for others to understand how to treat you, reinforcing that your voice matters and your needs are non-negotiable. Assertive communication doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational. It simply means expressing your thoughts, emotions, and expectations in a direct and respectful manner. Many women have a habit of softening their words to avoid conflict or to be more likable. However, constantly smoothing over your words can lead to misunderstandings and a loss of the respect you deserve. When you communicate directly and confidently, you not only show that you respect yourself, but you also command the same respect from others. A crucial part of establishing communication boundaries is the ability to say no without over-explaining. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify every decision you make. When you feel compelled to explain every boundary, you unintentionally open the door for negotiation. Men respect women who can set limits confidently, as this demonstrates self-assurance and decisiveness. Whether it's declining a favor, turning down last-minute plans, or standing firm on your personal choices, your ability to set boundaries is what signals to others that your time and decisions are worthy of respect. An equally important aspect is recognizing and addressing manipulative communication styles or evasive behavior. If a man uses sarcasm, guilt-tripping, or avoids responsibility, it is crucial to call out these behaviors directly. Remaining silent in the face of such actions only fosters an environment where disrespect becomes normalized. Addressing these behaviors head-on sends a powerful message that you expect mature and honest communication in your relationships. At times, being comfortable with silence can also be a strong boundary. You do not always need to respond, and sometimes choosing not to engage is a way to protect yourself, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and preserve your emotional energy. When you master assertive communication, you affirm that you are worthy of respect and love. Men are naturally drawn to women who are clear about their needs and boundaries because this creates a relationship built on mutual understanding and shared responsibility. By communicating clearly, misunderstandings are minimized and relationships become more profound and authentic. These boundaries not only protect your emotions, but also establish your standing within the relationship. Following this, the necessity of setting boundaries around time and space becomes evident, an essential factor in demonstrating self-respect. When you value your own time, you indirectly teach others to respect it as well. Time boundaries are a way of demonstrating that you prioritize your personal goals, self-care, and moments of rest. By doing so, you affirm that you have a fulfilling and meaningful life beyond a relationship, which naturally commands admiration. Just like Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, she always upheld her time boundaries, never allowing anyone, whether family or admirers, to disrupt her plans. She understood that without self-care and personal aspirations, she would not be able to maintain healthy relationships. Many women fall into the trap of always being available, sacrificing their personal plans to accommodate others. While support and kindness are invaluable qualities, constantly putting others' needs above your own sends the message that your time is less significant. When you fail to protect your time, burnout and resentment become inevitable. Setting time boundaries means recognizing that your personal time is just as valuable as anyone else's and deserves to be protected. This does not mean rejecting all opportunities, but rather making time for your passions, interests, work, and self-care. A woman who invests in her own growth and happiness demonstrates that she is not merely an extension of a relationship, but a whole individual with her own goals and ambitions. This independence commands respect because it shows that you are self-sufficient, strong, and capable of standing firm in any situation. Similarly, setting boundaries regarding personal space is equally vital. You need moments of solitude to recharge, reflect, or simply escape the chaos of everyday life. Some people may unknowingly overstep these boundaries, intruding on your time or personal space. Firmly yet kindly expressing your need for personal space helps establish a standard of mutual respect in the relationship. Lastly, do not allow anyone to drain your energy. If someone constantly disrupts your plans or expects your constant presence, you must address the issue directly and respectfully. Do not hesitate to assert that your time is limited and must be respected. Only when you protect your time and energy can you maintain healthy and sustainable relationships. Remember, you're not just demanding respect from others. You must first respect yourself. By valuing your time and space, you send a clear message that you live with purpose and intentionality. This is not just an act of self-respect, but a way to define how others should treat you. Just like the inspiring women in history and literature, they never compromised their goals and values for temporary approval or external validation. They understood that their lives were their own to shape, and only by taking control could they build truly meaningful relationships. A woman who maintains her independence while fostering loving and respectful relationships is someone who has achieved a remarkable balance between connection and self-sufficiency. This is a lesson we all need to learn. Respect is not earned by constant compromise or sacrifice, but by standing firm in your beliefs and values. Remember, a genuine relationship must be built on a foundation of mutual respect, and that respect can only exist when you know who you are and what you stand for. One of the most powerful ways to command respect from those around you, especially men, is by upholding your personal values and principles. These values are not just beliefs, but the guiding force behind your life, helping you distinguish right from wrong, build your goals, and establish personal standards. When you understand and remain steadfast in these values, you not only cultivate a strong foundation of self-respect, but also earn the admiration of others. In a world where many people change their views for approval or acceptance, a woman who stands her ground will always stand out. She does not waver under compliments, external pressure, or fleeting emotions. It is this self-assurance, maturity, and unwavering conviction that naturally commands respect, not because others feel obligated, but because they recognize her true worth. Setting boundaries around your values means identifying what is non-negotiable and protecting it at all costs. For example, if honesty is a core value, you will not tolerate dishonesty, no matter how small, because even the smallest lie can erode trust and destroy relationships. Similarly, if loyalty is essential to you, you will not accept unstable relationships or people who do not respect commitments. These standards are not meant to judge others, but to safeguard your mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that you surround yourself with those who align with your principles. At times, men, or anyone for that matter, may unknowingly test your boundaries to see if you will back down. Recognizing and confronting these situations is crucial. If a man disrespects your boundaries or diminishes the values you hold dear, it must be addressed immediately. Do not allow these behaviors to become normalized within the relationship. By standing firm in your values and consistently upholding your standards, you communicate to others that your self-worth is not up for negotiation. And that is precisely what commands genuine respect. Being consistent and standing firm in your values is how you assert your self-worth. And it is also how you teach others how to respect you. How you react in tense situations will determine whether others respect you or not. By standing your ground without allowing anger or defensiveness to take over, you convey that your values are non-negotiable and you are not easily swayed by manipulation or sweet words. This not only helps you maintain your dignity, but also sends an important message. You're not easily influenced by external factors. Consistency in your principles is key to building trust. A woman who consistently acts in alignment with her words will be admired and respected more than someone who constantly changes their stance just to please others. This stability reflects careful thought about who you are and what matters to you, and it also signals emotional maturity and stability, qualities that men deeply admire and respect. However, this doesn't mean you should disregard the values of others. In fact, you don't have to agree with everyone, but openness and understanding, so long as you don't sacrifice your core principles, will demonstrate excellent emotional intelligence. It's the balance between standing firm in your beliefs and being empathetic that makes you approachable yet powerful. This is the foundation for building meaningful relationships, where respect and mutual understanding are central. When you consistently maintain and protect your principles, you're creating a healthier environment for your relationships. You don't need to seek respect from others. The values you live by will naturally attract like-minded individuals. This not only minimizes conflicts and misunderstandings, but also creates a more harmonious space between you and those around you. Men respect women who know how to elevate a relationship, encourage responsibility, and foster mutual growth, rather than those who live only to please others. Standing firm in your principles is not about being rigid or inflexible, but about sincerity. It's about knowing your worth and understanding that you deserve nothing less than what you're worthy of. Women who live according to their principles naturally attract respect because it is a sign of strength, confidence, and self-worth. These women don't need to demand respect. It comes to them automatically, as a matter of course. One of the most direct and powerful ways to attract respect from others is by setting boundaries around physicality and intimacy. These boundaries are incredibly important because they protect your sense of safety, comfort, and autonomy. When you assert control over your body and space, you send a strong message. Your body is yours, and your physical presence is not something that can be overlooked or disrespected. By proactively setting personal boundaries, you not only protect yourself, but also naturally generate respect from those around you, especially men. Setting boundaries goes beyond intimacy. It also encompasses how you allow others into your space, how you respond to physical touch, and how you expect others to respect your comfort level. Imagine a situation where someone places their hand on your shoulder longer than necessary, or gives you an unwanted hug. You absolutely have the right to step back or speak up. When you immediately establish your boundaries, you send a clear signal that you are in control of your body and space. This says that your safety and comfort come first. In a romantic relationship, setting boundaries around intimacy is non-negotiable. Many women feel pressure to advance physically because they fear the other person will lose interest if they don't. However, the reality is the opposite. A man who genuinely cares about you will patiently wait for the pace that feels right for you. Remember, a relationship built on mutual understanding and respect will always be stronger than one based on the fear of pleasing someone else. When you confidently control the pace of intimacy, you not only reinforce respect from the other person, but also create a genuine bond between the two of you. More importantly, you need to communicate these boundaries assertively and confidently. You don't need to explain or justify why you've set a boundary. Your comfort and safety are reason enough. Whether it's deciding when you're ready to engage in intimacy or determining how much affection to show in public, your clarity in both words and actions shows that you value yourself more than external validation. And men always respect women who can express their needs clearly without wavering under pressure. Physical boundaries aren't just limited to intimate situations. They also show up in everyday interactions. For instance, you might need to set rules about who can come to your house uninvited or the distance someone should maintain when speaking with you. These seemingly small boundaries are actually crucial because they help others understand how to treat you with respect. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you create an environment where people know how to behave appropriately around you. Protecting your physical boundaries also strengthens your emotional boundaries, as the two are tightly connected. A person who knows how to control their space is also someone who knows how to maintain their emotional stability, preventing others from overshadowing or manipulating them. And when you do this, not only do you gain respect from others, but you also build a life where you are the one who decides what happens to you. Allowing others to invade your personal space not only affects your physical comfort, but can also create emotional instability. On the other hand, When you firmly protect your boundaries, you're laying the foundation for safety and peace of mind. It is this balance that nurtures healthy relationships where respect is always the priority. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you want to create distance or seem distant. In fact, it's a way to build trust. When a man realizes that you consistently value and protect your body and space, he will learn how to treat you with the same respect. This lays the groundwork for a relationship based on mutual understanding, rather than possession or imposition. You have absolute rights over your body and personal space, and it is up to you to decide how they are treated. By actively setting and maintaining clear boundaries around intimacy and personal distance, you're sending a strong message. You know your worth and expect others to respect that. No one can take this self-respect lightly, and the men who understand your true value will give you the respect you deserve. Not because they're forced to, but because they genuinely admire the strength and confidence you exude. And remember, respect is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, and it begins with how you treat yourself. When you set and maintain firm boundaries, you not only protect your own balance and happiness, but also elevate your worth in the eyes of others. You become a strong woman, one who understands herself and never needs to apologize for her value. Self-respect is not just a concept, it is an energy that radiates, making others see you with respect. Setting boundaries is not about creating conflict or distancing yourself from others. It's about defining the standards by which you choose to live and only welcoming those who are willing to meet those standards. It's about understanding that your feelings are valuable, your time is precious, your principles are non-negotiable, and your body belongs to you. A woman who truly understands her worth will never try to carry the emotional burden of others at the expense of her own well-being. She recognizes that true respect does not come from self-sacrifice, but from a harmony of mind and spirit. When a woman knows how to protect her emotional health, speaks with clarity and confidence, prioritizes her time, stands firm in her core values, and safeguards her personal safety, she becomes a symbol of strength and allure. Men who observe this will understand that there is a clear boundary between those who deserve a place in your life and those who do not meet the standard to enter. The boundaries you set act as a protective shield, filtering who truly values you and who seeks to exploit your vulnerability. Some won't like it. Some will try to challenge your limits. Others will attempt to push past them, and some may even leave because they can no longer benefit from your leniency. But let them go, because your boundaries were never meant to please everyone, but to remove those who do not deserve a place in your life. You deserve to be surrounded by those who see your value, not those who simply tolerate your presence. You deserve relationships where your voice is heard, not dismissed. And most importantly, you deserve to be in spaces where your presence is cherished, not taken for granted. But these things will only happen when you are steadfast enough to protect the principles you've set for yourself. The truth is, setting boundaries is an expression of self-love. It requires courage, persistence, and deep self-understanding. But once you do it, a powerful change will occur, not just in how you view yourself, but also in how others treat you. You will no longer have to chase or demand respect from anyone, because it will come to you naturally. Men who understand your true worth will recognize this, not because you force them to, but because your presence and self-respect speak volumes. Let the world know you are a strong woman, one who lives with dignity and has clear goals. Let your boundaries attract those who are truly capable of loving and respecting you in the way you deserve. And above all, let them remind you every day that you are enough, that you deserve to be loved, respected, and to receive the best life has to offer. Boundaries are not walls that separate. They are bridges that lead to respect and healthier relationships. When you know your worth, you will never accept anything less than what you deserve. Remember, change starts with you, from the way you treat yourself, how you communicate, and the boundaries you set with others. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I deeply appreciate your support and hope that today's message helps you on your journey of self-growth. If you have a story or experience about setting boundaries and earning respect, please share in the comments. I'm always ready to listen, If you're facing an issue and would like us to create a video discussing it, leave your thoughts. We're in this together. Don't forget to like if you found this content helpful. Share it with those who need to hear it, and subscribe so you don't miss any valuable lessons in upcoming videos. Let's build a strong and positive community together. See you in the next video.